Hello viewers, welcome to Medical Tutorials. This video is all about the basic introduction to the osteology of skull, and don't forget to watch the second part of this topic, whose link is given down below there in the description box. You can also click on the I button above there to watch it. The skeleton of head is called the skull. It consists of several bones that are joined together to form cranium. The skull is divided into two parts. The clavaria or brain box is the upper part of the cranium which encloses the brain, and the other is the facial skeleton, constitute the rest of the skull and includes the mandible. Skull consists of 28 bones, 14 are of clavarian and 14 are of facial skeleton part of the skull. In clavarian, the parietal, temporal, malleus, incus and stapes are the paired ones, whereas frontal, occipital, sphenoid and ethmoid are unpaired. And in facial skeleton, maxilla, zygomatic, nasal, lacrimal, palatine and inferior nasal concha are paired, and mandible and omer are unpaired. Then joints in the skull are mostly sutures, a few primary cartilaginous joints and three pairs of synovial joints. Two of these synovial joints are present between the ossicles of middle ear, and one pair is the largest temporomandibular joint. And these sutures are plain in intranasal sutures, serrate in coronal sutures, denticulate in lambdoid sutures, and squamous in parietotemporal sutures. Then talking about the anatomical position of skull, the skull can be placed in proper orientation by considering any one of the two planes, that is Reid's baseline, a horizontal line that obtained by joining the infraorbital margin to the center of external ocastic mesus, that is auricular point, or the Frankfurt's horizontal plane, which is obtained by joining the infraorbital margin to the upper margin of the external ocastic mesus. And there are three methods to study the skull: externally, internally, and by the individual bones of the skull. Skull study externally can be done by different views, that is norma verticalis, that is superior view, norma occipitalis, that is posterior view, norma frontalis, anterior view, norma lateralis, lateral view, and norma basalis, that is inferior view. Skull study from inside or internal study can be done after removing the roof of the clavaria or skull cap, and we can study the internal surface of the cranial vault and also the internal surface of the cranial base, which shows a natural subdivision into anterior, middle and posterior cranial fossae. And the third method is that the skull can also be studied as individual bones.